On Earth, humans and animals alike have learned to adapt to certain aspects of their environment. They've learned to recuperate from natural disasters and have relationships with other organisms. This is called ecology and evolution.
Webster's definition of ecology is a branch of science concerned with the interrelationship of organisms and their environments. Ecology can be seen everywhere, even in your backyard.
Types of succession: primary and secondary succession. The difference is that primary starts at bare rock, while secondary comes from land with nutrients that were already there. As seen in this photo, it starts with weeds and wildflowers, then goes into seedlings and other plants.
Primary succession starts when there has been a major natural disaster, leaving the environment as bare rock. For example, if a volcano erupted, it would burn all of the plants, leaving the plants to grow from barren rock. This mode of succession starts with the pioneer.
Symbiotic relationships are the different types of interactions between organisms. They are mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, and predation. Mutualism coming from the word mutual, meaning that both parties agree with it. In this term, it means that both organisms are benefited from the reaction. In this video, we can see a bee collecting nectar from a flower.
Mutualism happens when one organism is benefited and the other isn't affected. An example of this is when a species of fish attaches to the bottom of a shark and eats the bits of foods that come off of what the shark is eating. The fish gets to eat, but the shark is unaffected. In parasitism, there is one organism that feeds off of the host organism. An example of this is a tick on a dog. The tick feasts on the blood of the dog.
Ecology are the food webs. Food webs show the transfer of energy between animals. The arrows show what animal is being eaten, like the arrows in this diagram. In this web, we can see that the snake eats the rat and the frog. Also shown in this diagram are the different sections of the organisms. The four sections are producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. Ecology that bridges into evolution is natural selection. Natural selection is a process whereby organisms better adapted to their environment tend to survive and produce more offspring. The theory of its action was fully expounded by Charles Darwin and is now believed to be the main process that brings about evolution. Basically, natural selection decides what organisms will be able to survive. The organisms that survive will pass on their traits through evolution.
Autotrophs, also known as plants, make their own food. An example of producers are nuts, seeds, and fruit. Primary consumers are organisms that eat producers, such as insects, small fish, and deer. Secondary consumers eat the herbivores. Secondary consumers can be rats, frogs, and jackrabbits. Finally, the tertiary consumers are at the top of the food web. They are known as humans, mountain lions, and bobcats.
Variations are the different types of phenotypes within a species. For example, in this picture, the top is a white-peppered moth. It evolved into the black moth shown below. Heredity is a passing on of physical or mental characteristics. An example of heredity is shown by the use of Punnett squares. The purpose of Punnett squares is to figure out the possibility for the passing on of certain traits. If the mother is homozygous for blue eyes and the father is heterozygous, there would be a 100% chance that the child would have blue eyes. All of these play a major part in
evolution. Many species are linked by common ancestors, which is where the theory comes from that humans originated from chimpanzees. Because of common ancestors, thousands to millions of years back, it causes homologous structures. Homologous structures are parts of the body that are similar in structure to other comparative species parts. Because of common ancestors mixed in with evolution, there are vestigial structures that appear to have no use or to be unnecessary in species structures.
In conclusion, all of these factors affect human beings, but we also affect ecology and evolution, in bad ways too. So be mindful of how you treat the earth.
Whenever you litter, drive a car, cut trees, or genetically modify organisms, you're affecting the natural order of the world, including ecology and evolution.
Pass it over.